We're live from New York City, from Guitar Quackery. This is Guitar Quackery live streaming from Guitar Quackery. Guitar Quackery is a little repair shop in the middle of the big city that we call New York City, Midtown Manhattan, the big city. Yeah, so we have a Fender Jazz Bass on the bench. I am just doing some formalities right here before we can start the work. Okay, so I texted a link to the live stream to the customer. This bass, well, the customer was not in a hurry, so it's been waiting on this, on me to start working on it for quite a while. And now it's finally on the bench. We're going to be doing a refret. So we'll be pulling the frets out and installing new frets. But here's the interesting thing. Usually, 9 times out of 10, or 9.5 times out of 10, or maybe even more often than that, we do a refret when the frets are worn down to the point that we need to install new ones. And here, that's not the case at all. The frets have barely any fret wear on them. We need to do a refret because we're doing a fretboard correction. A fretboard correction because we have a differential relief on the fretboard. So it is impossible to dial in a proper setup because of this differential relief that we see. So let's go over this. I will show you. Yeah. Let's put the bass here. And let's start with an overhead view first. So here it is. I think I should push it in this direction a little bit. This is the neck rest. So I place the neck rest at the heel of the neck so that we don't add additional relief to the neck, okay, because it's quite heavy. We have a straight edge right here, and we have a set of feeler gauges. Now, we can measure the neck relief in many different ways. I measure it on the 8th fret on the bench using a straight edge and feeler gauges. So the relief on this side of the neck, on the treble side, is, so let's place this here. This is the 8th fret, right? So let's start with this feeler gauge here. It fits through. It fits through this gap, okay? That's the one. The next feeler gauge does not, okay? So our measurement is this. So now let me hold on to this, and I will bring it over to the other camera, which is here. So let me switch cameras. And here is this relief. We can see that it says 18 1/1000ths of an inch, if the camera wants to focus on it. 18 1/1000ths of an inch. Okay, it says right here. Now if we take this same feeler gauge, and I'll place it here. Let's switch the camera back. And if we measure the relief on the bass side, so let's start with that same one, it doesn't fit through at all. So let's move over to the next smaller one. It does not fit. Smaller one, does not fit. This one does not fit. Next one does not fit. Okay, so we see quite a difference. And this one is the first one that does fit. So once again, we'll place this here. That's the one that fits right there. Okay, let's switch the cameras and let's see what it is. We see it right here. And this one is much thinner, 5/1000ths of an inch. Okay? That's the relief on the bass side. But the relief on the treble side was this one here, 18. So let's put them together. This one is really thick, and this one is really thin. That's the problem. So we have more relief, significantly more relief on the treble side than we do on the bass side. The neck has one truss rod in the middle. So when we tighten it, we straighten the neck equally on both sides. When we loosen it, we put more relief on the neck. The strings are pulling it. So we put more relief on the neck, again, equally on both sides. Now, a differential relief with a little bit more relief on the bass side is actually a good thing, because the bass string, the thicker strings vibrate more than the thinner ones. But even then, the difference would be maybe 2, maybe 3/1000ths of an inch, not more. Here we have 13/1000ths of an inch of a difference favoring the treble side, more on the treble side, which is completely wrong. So we cannot even achieve a good setup on this bass because of that. Okay, so this being the case, the only thing we can do really is to do a refret. So we pull the frets out, and then we plane the fretboard, and then we install new frets. Now, why is it this way? So let me put this away. Well, I think that that's the way they made it. Let's have a closer look. I'll move this camera. So when they build a neck, they glue the fingerboard and they plane it. And then they install the frets. That's how they do it at Fender, I believe. And in fact, it would be better to flip it. So let me flip it. We'll put it on this way. And I'm also going to use a light here. Okay, so that we can look at the fretboard from the side. Just like that. So now this camera needs to go down a little bit. Right here. All right, let's try this. Here, I was already putting post-it notes down here just to kind of take some measurements. So here we see the thickness of the fingerboard. And I did put a post-it note here for some like I said, for some measurements. So why don't we do this? I still need to reposition it. Perhaps, sorry. Okay. Okay. This is also a feeler gauge, and here we're in autofocus, so let's refocus this camera. Okay, so I'm going to place this feeler gauge between the strings and the board so that I can push it like this, and we can put this post-it note right here against the feeler gauge. Okay, so now when I release it, this is where the fingerboard ends. And here we can mark off a little line. This is the thickness of the fingerboard in first position. Okay. So now let's move the camera over here. I need to lower the camera a bit. And I already have some post-it notes, but let's just recreate it. And again, I'm going to place this feeler gauge right here and put the light here so we can see it. Focus. Again, I need to push it up, so the camera needs to go up just a little bit. I think this will do. So let's push it up. Okay, sorry about that. I mean, we're improvising. This is just a live stream. I do have this light, which might work better. Okay. Here we see this. So now we take that same little paper and we place it here against the edge. That's it. So we can clearly see that the thickness of the fingerboard isn't consistent. So it is much thinner, even when we just look at it. So let's just kind of remember this, and we can kind of make a mental note of the distance between the bottom of the fret tang and this line where the fingerboard meets the neck. Okay, we make a mental note of that. And now let's move the camera here. This is our light. Okay. And here, we can see it's much thicker. And again, we made a mental note of the distance between the bottom of the fret tang, which is this. Well, it's upside down, so that makes it the top, I guess, but it is the bottom. And this line, the glue joint. Okay. We can see that the fingerboard is much thicker here than it is in the middle of the neck. So that's how they planed the fingerboard. So now we need to pull the frets out so that we can plane it properly. and then we need to install new frets. Now, in terms of fret wear, well, there is no fret wear to speak of. I mean, I can see, you know, a little bit of evidence that the bass had been played, but we're not doing a refret because of fret wear for sure. Okay. First thing we do is a string removal. So this is the Guitar Quackery streaming channel. It's Guitar Quackery Live, not to be confused with Guitar Quackery, without the word live in its title. This is not the same channel. Here, I just do live streams of projects. I was going to record a video of this, perhaps. See, I never know if I have the time to record the videos, but I'm just too busy, so I don't think I can record a video. I mean, this is being recorded, archived, but I don't think I'll be editing a video of this project. It'll be archived, so that's also good. I'm not live streaming all the projects, but this one is interesting, so why not? It will be streamed in at least 3 parts, I think, or 4 maybe. I think 4 parts maybe. So part 1 is this. We are removing the strings. Well, first we did the assessment. Now we are removing the strings, and we will remove the nut, we'll remove the frets. Part 2 will be fretboard correction, planing the fretboard. Part 3 will be the actual refret. Part 4, level, crown, and polish. And part 5, I guess 5 parts, the setup, restringing and setup, I guess. Sometimes things don't work out exactly as planned, but that's the plan. Okay, I've been preheating this soldering iron, which is only used for refrets. And I have this fret pulling tool called the fret puller, oddly enough. All right, so here we'll start with the first fret, and then we'll move in this direction. Sometimes I use a little bit of water. So I'm not sure if it's needed. Let's try without. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I should reposition this camera so we can see some close-ups. Okay. There we go. This is the tip of this soldering iron, which is used just for this job. I think it's self-explanatory. So if I feel that it needs a little water, I will use a little bit of water. If not, then I won't use water. I can see that something is coming out. The fret is getting warm. Oh, pretty easy. So yeah, I don't think I'll be using water. Okay, to avoid tear out, you know, we do it slowly. Now we'll clean out the inside later. Yeah. We could clean it while it's still hot, but it does cool off very quickly, so I find it more productive to just move on with the removal of the frets first. So I see I do have an audience. I see that I'm looking at the monitor. So those of you who are watching now, I guess you missed the assessment. We are refretting this because we're doing a fretboard correction, not because there's any significant wear on the frets. I'm putting the frets here in this row. These frets came out of another guitar that I'm also refretting now. We could install the same frets back. These frets are coming out easily. That's not always the case. So yeah, I see some hearts coming out there, coming out of the chat, live chat section. But I'm not able to read comments while I work. All right. I already bought the fret wire. In fact, I already radiused it and I already cut the frets. But now I'm thinking, should I just install the same frets back? Let's see if they get damaged. And if we install the same frets back, those will be the original frets. It is possible to install the same frets back. I've never done it, you know, on a full refret, because usually when we refret a neck, it is because the frets are worn. But I've done it on like a neck reset, which I'm also currently doing on a Martin, but I'm also doing a refret on the same Martin, which is where these frets came from. So And these frets here do have fret wear. All right. We have 5 frets out. I put them in the wrong holes, okay, because I have a first hole says 0 for the 0 fret, if ever there's a 0 fret. So the numbers confused me because I saw that there's a dot here. Yeah, so like I was saying, sometimes I use a little bit of water. That doesn't always help. It depends how much the fretboard had been oiled. Okay, this one is a bit stubborn. I don't know why. So if I damage any of the frets, then we won't be able to reinstall the same ones. Let's start from here. Okay. So now when I just work, I don't need to worry about camera angles normally, but now I need to reposition the side camera so I can switch to a close-up. Okay. Some people use solder on the frets. I'm sure you've seen that on YouTube. I don't use that. I have used it, but I generally don't use it. It might be a good idea to use it on a maple fretboard, so that we don't spend too much time heating up the fret. Okay. This is a really good tool. There's another issue with this neck. The truss rod is maxed out. So we'll need to do something about that. Okay, same situation here. It's a bit stubborn on the treble side. There you go. I've noticed some quite a few thumbs down on some of the live streams. Well, I think people watch them later when they get archived. They don't realize that that this is just a separate streaming channel, and obviously it might be painful to watch through an archived live stream of me just, you know, slowly working through a project. I don't think any other repair shops are live streaming their projects like this. If anyone else is doing it, I'm not aware of it. Okay. Nine frets are out. That's it. Okay. So far, no tear out. Okay. If we do get any accidental tear out, we need to repair it right away. Okay, so that might make it interesting to watch, but it sucks for me. Again, I guess I need to reposition the camera. Yeah. I personally like to watch Tanya Shpachuk, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's Ukrainian. She does a lot of refrets. Sometimes I just play her videos on the computer as I work. She's a workaholic. I like her. Okay. A few days ago, what, 2 days ago, what's today? No, 3 days ago, I was live streaming well, I call it a full service, but I'm not done yet, on a D'Acquisto guitar. And so James D'Acquisto was also a workaholic. The guitar the Acquisto guitar will be back on this bench in a few days. I don't know when exactly. In a few days, and I'll be live streaming. I don't know why all of a sudden these frets are stubborn now. Okay, now we're good. So I guess I'll have to see how much damage there is to the side of the fret, like around here where I start pulling, before I decide if I should install the old ones, the original frets, or if I should just use brand new fret wire. I made a few videos for the main channel showing some examples of guitars, and I think one or two basses maybe, that needed more work to get them set up properly. I really wanted to include this one, but I don't know, it takes too much work to put together long-form videos, fully edited long-form videos. Okay. Okay. 12 frets are out. Okay. No tear outs so far. This is a bolt-on neck, but I find it easier to pull the frets with the neck still attached to the body, because the body holds the neck in place. I could use a third hand. All right. This is an expensive tool. So, yeah, so if you have this tool, and if you work in a busy environment like I do here, make sure you don't keep the tool on the bench, because people might borrow it to cut a string, you know, to restring, to put a new string on their own guitars, and I need pliers. Oh, look at that! Boom. They wouldn't think twice. So I keep this tool at the back of the drawer, and it has a Velcro strap around it. And when I walk away from this bench, I close this door. This window sometimes stays open, only if I don't go too far. Okay, we're approaching the neck joint here. That's the neck joint. We're almost done pulling the frets. Let's start on this side. You can see how it's springing back. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I make mistakes or have accidents. Now I'm live streaming, so if I mess up, it's recorded forever. Anyway, this is just to protect the body and the pick guard here, just in case I slip. Yeah, so I need some tape. Ooh. Okay. Christian Taylor, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Boom. All right, so tape. This tape. Okay, let me show what I do here. So what kind of finishes this? Yeah, it's safe to use this tape. So first I protect the body here. Yeah, so this tape is expensive, right? So now let me use this. Okay, how about this? So I use this low tack tape to protect the finish, but now I can put this tape on top of it. Okay, just want to make sure that this sharp edge doesn't scratch the finish. I put it here and I just tape it. Okay, so now if the hot tip slips, it doesn't damage the guitar. That's the idea. So 5 frets to go. By the way, this is a 7¼ inch radius fingerboard. So when I plane this fingerboard, I will be using a 7¼ inch radius sanding beam, which I will show in part 2 of this series. Come on. Okay, it's moving. Okay. Yes, so I protect all my tools because busy musicians can snatch them, thinking that, you know, that it's okay to do that, and it's not okay with me. Nothing, not even a screwdriver. I don't let people borrow anything. Okay. It's moving. It's a jazz bass, by the way. Okay. Before we put it on the neck jig, before we do the planing, I'm going to clean these fret slots. So that'll be part of this live stream. "20 frets. Most people don't need more on a bass. Some people do. All right, so now we can unplug the heater, and I can remove this. Okay. It's all good. Maybe I can save this for something. It's still a little bit warm. It doesn't stay warm for a long time. So, like I said, this tool goes away right away before something happens. I have this Velcro. And it lives at the back of this drawer. So there are some other pliers here. So if anyone does open this in my absence, they'll see these pliers and they'll probably take this, which is what I use to cut strings. All right, let's put this away. Now we'll do the cleanup. So the tools that I use are to be honest, I don't know what it's called, but it looks like this. So it's a StewMac tool, but I use now a different handle. I used to use the StewMac handle, but now I use this handle for the simple reason it fits with the other blades like that. There you go. So it's takes up less space. I don't need the other blades for this. And I use also this tool. Japanese fret saw. Okay. And we'll use this to deepen these fret slots for sure, because we are going to be playing in this fretboard quite a bit here. So we'll use this to cut the fret slots deeper. This is a stop, right? Now we want to examine the fret slots. Okay. This is what I see. If we zoom in, we can see the glue, the leftover glue. So now we want to clean it in this direction. Focus at the bottom now. But like I said, we'll be cutting these fret slots deeper anyway. But still, I want to remove whatever I can remove now. So I scrape in this direction towards the center. And here I also scrape towards the center, so I pull in this direction. But like I said, another method would be to use this saw, right? Which I like to use after this tool. Okay. I do need to raise this camera a bit. All right. Okay, and this is the second fret. So there wasn't much glue here. Not much to clean. Which must be why it came out easily. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm still not sure if streaming publicly is a good idea. It's good to give the customers the option to watch me work on their instruments, but I don't know if it might have a negative effect on the channel, on the main channel, because I think that some people don't realize that those are two separate channels. I use a slightly different logo for the live, for Guitar Quackery Live, for the streaming channel. So it's the red pick with 3 white, whatever you call them, radio wave. So here's some glue. All right. I used to have a different tool that I made that I'm not using anymore, really. I can show it. This is what I made. And that's the idea, that it just pulls. I guess it's a good tool. I never made a good handle for it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Not much glue. don't know what kind of glue they use because it feels sticky. Like it feels kind of soft. And it's obviously decades old. Okay. Oh, wow. What is this? It is chipped off. So we need to reglue this here. Or did we lose a piece already? Yeah, I think we lost a piece. So this goes here. We lost this little piece here. All right, so it's pretty shallow, and we'll be planing this fretboard. So I don't think it really matters. Yeah. Now the rosewood fingerboards are forgiving, so you can do a little mixture of rosewood dust and super glue and fill it, and yeah, it won't be visible. But we'll be planing this fingerboard anyway, so this is the 6th fret right now, so I can't pull the entire piece, so I will break it down into sections like this. So this is the grip. I'm pushing with my thumb. That's the glue. I don't even see any glue here. Maybe just a little bit. Okay, so we're 1 hour and 15 minutes and 41 seconds into this live stream. So I think this part 1 will be under 2 hours, I guess. I'm not sure if I'll be playing the fretboard tonight. What time is it? Almost midnight. Okay. I need to check the battery on my computer. It's a laptop. Okay. All right. So it's important to pull towards the center, because if you pull it out in this direction, you can pull some grains from the side of the fingerboard, so it can happen at the beginning. Now it's okay, kind of, when it's already clean. So I was expecting to see more glue here, but I was wrong. Because these frets were more difficult to pull. And now I have a theory. So first I thought I would find more glue here, but what I think was happening, I think that sweat softened the wood grain here. Okay, this is where this bass is mostly played, I guess, and here, not so much. So the wood grain here is still stronger, and it was just holding these frets by friction firmly in place. That's the theory. Yeah, because yeah, I don't see more glue here. Huh? Haven't cleaned this one yet. In fact, feels like there's less glue here. Oh, yeah. I don't know. What is the experience of watching a tech at work? Must be okay for a few minutes, but, you know, after a few minutes, I think probably it gets boring. Still think it's a good idea for the customer to have the option to watch. Although I can't do it for everyone. Yeah. Okay. So a few more frets to clean. Here there's a bunch of glue. Right there. I don't like the way this glue feels, because it feels still soft and sticky. Okay. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to remove the neck and then do a pass with a fret saw, with a Japanese fret saw. Now, I'm sure you might be wondering, why not just do it with a Japanese fret saw to begin with? And that's a good question. And there is an answer. Because the fret saw has multiple teeth. And when there's a lot of junk, they all get anchored into that, glue all at once. So then you need to use excessive force just to be able to move the saw. And excessive force, when something doesn't want to budge, like just what happened now, can happen in a sudden release, and that can cause problems and damages. So I'd rather do first a pass with this tool, remove as much as I can, smooth out the work area, and then do a finishing job with the Japanese fret saw. Because you can see now I can kind of easily claw my way through the entire fret slot, but not through this one. Well, here it gets stuck. So these fret slots didn't have much glue, but when there's a lot of glue, you can't just use the fret saw right away. I mean, you can, but I don't like taking chances. And the fret saw will remove all of the particles that I can't really pull out right now. So, okay, I guess it's time to remove the neck. Well, no, I can, I'll remove the neck when I need to do a pass past the 11th fret, I guess. But now I can just do this. I need to remove the nut as well. Let's do it. Okay. So we need to score through the finish here lightly. So they install the nut and then they spray the finish. So there's finish on this side of the nut as well. But there's no other way to do it. We need to remove it. In fact, we'll remove the finish from the top as well when we plane the fretboard. Okay, I like to use tape to guide the blade. So the trick is to not push, just scratch the surface and then scratch it multiple times. Okay. Now we need to do the same on the other side. So I can't really show this on camera, but I'll do the same thing here. So this is definitely the original nut. Oh, look at that. That's already moving. That's good. It's going to be easy to remove it. Look at that. Okay. It wasn't even glued in, which is good, right? A friction fit is always a good idea, but there wasn't much friction, as you can see. So the overspray was just holding it, and obviously the strings were also holding the nut. Came out easily. Here it is. And now I just put it here for now. And now we can, oh, let me put the sharp blade away first. Okay, and now let's reposition this camera. So yeah, all these teeth can get stuck in the debris or, you know, dried up glue. So see, we can't rush it. It's a tight fit sometimes. And I'm already pulling it, as you can see, but, you know, it's not moving. I am in fact pulling this, but it's not moving because there's a little bit of glue here. At the edge of the fretboard. There you go. And now there's all this glue here. Whatever debris, right? Okay, now it's cleaned out. And I can feel that it's really clean. So you see how it's stuck? That's why I like to do the initial pass with this. So 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 35 seconds. I thought it was going to be under 2 hours, obviously. I underestimated again. Come on. There's something in the middle. Okay, so now it goes smoothly, you see? It's not moving the neck block anymore. We want to make sure we don't widen the slot. I can still feel something because this fret saw doesn't hit the bottom, right? It's got this stop, so there's still something at the bottom here. see something white here, so that's obviously glue. Okay, so now I think you can see chip out right there. Okay, so this is something we need to fix right away. Okay, so now I need to deal with this first. We'll use super glue. Maybe this, or maybe okay, ultra thin. Yeah. Sorry, I need to check something. You guys are done? You're done. Cool. All right. No, I'm gonna stay late. Yeah. And yeah. Can you see it outside? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw that? Yeah. It's really sharp. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's really sharp. Try. Yeah. Not for kids. Okay, guys. Good night. Okay. Another late night for me. I almost threw this out of focus. Maybe I did. Let me zoom in. Let me refocus this camera. Okay, we're good. I think. All right. What are we doing? We're doing this. Okay. This is it. So, okay, I'm refocusing the camera. Cool. Yeah. So I'll be using a like a looper, I think it's called. Where'd I put it? See, this happens every time. I reorganized my work area to make it more logical, and then I forget where I put things. Come on. Okay, I'll use something else. Not a big deal. Yeah. So you can see it from here. Where is it? Here. Or you can see it from here. That's the little thing. So first thing I want to do is just push it down flush. And realign it, I guess. And then we'll just flood it. And then we can also spray it with an accelerator, which is this thing. Okay. But when we spray it, we want to make sure that we don't keep the super glue, none of it, anywhere near where we can smell it. So this one is thin. I said I was going to use ultra thin. Where did I put it? Okay, I had it. Oh, man. I have no idea where I put it. Unbelievable. I had it in my hand. Oh, ultra thin. Here it is. If it's still good. I have a feeling it's solidified. I think it's solidified. All right. That's right. So I guess we won't be using the ultra thin. Is this one still good? Nope. It's like a gel. Okay, what about this? Pro formula. Thin. Fill and finish. Thin Pro. Okay. This is good. Yeah. We can also use wood glue or fish glue and clamp it. But we'll do it this way. Okay, so this is the fragment. So we want to flood it, and we want to hold it down, and then spray it with the accelerator. Like that. We want to hold it like that. Okay. That's it. We're flooding it. That's too much. So we take a little bit of tissue paper. We'll be planing this part anyway. So there's a little bit of squeeze out coming out there on the side. Maybe we don't need to spray it. This is fine. Yeah, so wood naturally has all these crevices. So it's fine if we have a little gap here and there. It'll get sanded. So I think this is good. I don't need to spray it. Okay. That's that. Okay. Which is fine because I don't like the smell of this. All right. So that's the 4th fret. Now we continue. People are still watching. Okay. So once we get too close to the horn, which is the 12th fret, so the 11th fret we can still do, but not the 12th fret. And then we'll remove the neck. Okay. So yeah, I'm not talking much now because, you know, if it slips, I damage the fingerboard. Need to focus on the work. So we need these clean, not just because we need, obviously we need them clean to put the frets in, but also we'll be doing this cleaning throughout the planing of the fretboard. So that's the 4th fret slot, which is the one we repaired. I just want to make sure that it's clean. it's all good. Okay, so now let's remove the neck. Okay, so I can see this plate was over tightened. Yeah, we want to look at this. So I don't know if, I think someone worked on this bass at some point, and you know, that's what we find. All this. So let's remove the plate. I could hear a little crackling. Okay. It is what it is. Okay. It's fine, I guess. And now let's remove the neck. Wow. It's as if it's glued in. So I'm pushing here, and I'm lifting here. Okay. It's a tight neck joint, which is good. There. Oh, it's a 2007. Okay. I thought it was older. There's a shim here. It says Gonzalez here. There's a stamp that says Gonzalez. Okay, so now let's put this away. Because we'll work on the neck right now. 5 people watching. Actually, 4 people watching, because one person is me. I'm streaming on the monitor outside. Yeah, here we go. I'm looking for chip out, potential chip out, nothing there. Okay. So let's start with this fret. I don't think I'll be switching cameras now, because I just want to get this done. It's important not to widen the slots for obvious reasons. So now the blade got stuck again, right? Somewhere. think I'm likely going to be planing tonight, so yeah. I don't know how many of you will be watching. And this is the last one, 12th fret. Okay. That's that. I want to examine the original frets because, you know, I want to decide if I want to reinstall the same ones. So here they are, all of them, all 20 of them. And I want to see if there's any damage from the fret pullers. See, now I just flipped it. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so this here is a fretwear from the low E string, right? So that's the treble side. I started pulling it here. So this one could be reused. But this isn't really a vintage bass. I'm not really sure that it makes sense to reuse the old frets. There's the 3rd fret. I was having a hard time pulling these frets here, so let me see if any of them have any damage. Yeah, you see this? This is from the fret pullers. So because of it, I don't want to reuse the fret. All right. We are definitely going to be putting new fret wire on this neck. Okay, so that's that. It's not a vintage neck anyway. But now we want to look at this truss rod nut. And before we do, I want to show you something. I know there must be a better way with these cameras. So this is the truss rod nut. And let's focus. And you can see how it's recessed, right? So let's remove it. Wow, it's tight. Yeah, I did remove this neck before. That's how I knew that the truss rod's maxed out, right? So we try to adjust the truss rod, and still we couldn't get the neck to go into a back bow. In fact, there's like a 18 1/1000ths of an inch of relief on the treble side, as we just measured at the beginning of this video. Okay, so this is it. And now we can put a spacer. So I have these spacers that I make, and we can put a spacer inside, and you know, that'll buy us a little bit of a distance on the truss rod so we can tighten it better. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to make another nut with a built-in shoulder like this. And that's a better way because we can always service it. But with this method, once we install this, that's it. You can never pull this out. So, I don't know. I was discussing this with a customer. We decided to do the spacer, but I need to think about it. I have made these nuts before for, you know, guitars and basses. There's obviously a spacer already there, but it's not going to come out. So let me think. I don't think we can do the planing tonight if I want to make a new nut. If I just want to install the spacer, then we can, but because we need to tighten the truss rod so that we can see a little bit of a back bow. So now without the strings on, I want to see what we get in terms of straightness or relief. So obviously there are no strings on the neck. And we have a relief here, right? But we know that the fingerboard is thicker here and it's thinner here, right? So the question is, would it be good once we plane this off and make it all even? Let's see. We want to lubricate it. So we do have quite a lot of threads left, right, on the truss rod. Okay, this is tight, but not too tight. So now let's see. We do get a little bit of a back bow here now. You can see that. There is a little bit of a back bow, which is a good thing. So I think we can plane it tonight. I can adjust the neck so that well, I guess I do want to maintain a little bit of relief because it's not really relief. The fingerboard is simply thicker here. So we want to take this down. Okay, so I need to think about this. And maybe I will be streaming tonight. I don't know. I guess there's a more than 50% chance that I do. But I'm not sure. So thank you very much, and well, maybe this is good night, or maybe this is see you later. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you.